Mehta.
And I, Via Kakkad.
Welcome to Witty Waves, Voices of the Future, the podcast where witty students meet inspiring leaders shaping the world of education.
It's a very special day today, 17th November, celebrated as National Journalism Day, honoring the spirit of truth, transparency, and communication, the real pillars of a vibrant democracy.
Absolutely! On this day, we celebrate the power of voice. And what better way than a student led podcast that brings ideas and inspiration to life?
And joining us on this special occasion is a visionary leader whose work has redefined global education, Mr. Devidutta Kanungo.
Welcome, sir. We are honored to have you here with us today on Witty Waves.
The honor is all mine. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. GSF has an incredible presence across the countries. What was the original vision behind building such a strong global network of schools?
So we started our first school in Singapore. So there was a large expat community in Singapore which wanted quality education, which is rooted in the Indian values and the rigor of Indian education. So that was the genesis of GSF. And as we started our first school, the first school became very successful. There was a demand across the world, wherever there is an Indian diaspora, to start doing more of such schools. And slowly we spread across multiple countries. Now we are in so many countries. We are in Singapore, we are in Japan, we are in UAE, of course in India, so many different countries.
That's inspiring, sir. And what, according to you, makes Witty International School stand out among India's leading institutions?
So Witty is part of the GSG family, but before that also Witty is and was one of the most leading schools. See, Witty started the trend of international education long back when international education was not the buzzword, right? So it started with the concept that we want to give the best of international education to the children while still retaining the core of Indian values, right? So we Indians have such a strong, ethics and a strong culture that dates back to thousands of years. We want to retain the pride of us being Indians. So Witty started as a school that wanted to give the wings to the children while still being rooted to their soil. And with that culture, Witty has progressed immensely in the last 20 years. We have consistently been the #1 school in our zone in the country. We have progressed year on year, and parents are very happy, and I'm sure you as students are enjoying your education here, and that's the core of Witty.
That's amazing, sir. In today's rapidly changing world, technology is reshaping education. How does GSF ensure that students stay future ready yet value rooted?
So multiple things. Value systems, when we create a value system, it has to be inculcated into each and every part of the education system, right? You all undergo the enrichment hour, right? Yeah. So the enrichment hour is a critical aspect of how we make sure that value systems are ingrained into each and every student. There is that whole year-long emphasis on making sure that the core Indian value systems are taught and ingrained by the students. We also are very, very careful that we should be celebrating each and every festival that's there in the part of our very rich and diverse country with the whole zeal and gusto. The children, you all are now, we are all taking part of the annual day. We have the annual day theme of, Shining India, which is coming up, where all of you are going to understand about how Indian culture and how the history of India has progressed through the years. So as you do all these small activities, the way that we do Matri Pitri Pujan, right? Yeah. We go and, we worship our parents because they have given birth to us. So these are the initiatives that Witty does across the year to make sure that while we give you the most cutting edge education, At the same time, the culture and value system that you're talking about, we are completely ingrained in that.
That's very motivating, sir. Now, this question is related to your previous answer. If you could add one futuristic subject to our curriculum, something that doesn't exist yet, what would it be?
So I would say that it's already started. Couple of years back, we started robotics, right? Um, if it were, if I had my way, I would like to really enhance that. See, when we say robotics, robotics is only one part. At the end of it, what we are trying to teach is the process of design thinking, right? Today, all of you are living in a world which is changing extremely rapidly. When you are, which grade levels are you in?
Sixth.
Sixth, both of you are sixth. So you have another 4, 6 years and you'll be in college. 6 years in today's world is a very long time, right? By the time you go out, you don't know where things will be. So things are changing very rapidly. What you really need to learn is the process of unlearning and relearning something new, understanding things from a outsider point of view and then designing products and solutions to fit that. So when we are doing our robotics, what actually we are evolving towards is kind of making it into a design thinking, kind of a program where you will have to solve real world problems using the techniques that you learn here. Some of your seniors, they participated in a program called MI4, Make in India competition. I think one or two students were there even from grade 6 or 7. But they designed things which were there to solve real world problem. One of your, not classmates, but one of your schoolmates designed a helmet which when worn, make sure that any rider who is drunk or is under the influence of alcohol is unable to start the bike. It is connected, the breath analyzer in the helmet is connected to the motorcycle. Now that's solving a real world problem. So what we want to encourage is all the children to kind of start looking at real world problems and try to solve it in any small way that you can, and understand, empathize with the people who are around you, and that's a part of the curriculum that we are in the process of developing.
So, that really sounds like the future we are stepping into. So, sustainability is becoming important all around the world. How does Witty International School help the students to learn and care for the environment these days?
So obviously, one of the most important thing today, and for all of you, is to make sure that we protect our nature. Um, Recently, Witty School Goregaon got the Green School Award, one of the highest, recognition of a school in terms of how we do sustainability, right? That being said, it is incumbent upon each and every student to make sure that they take the ownership. There are so many things. I think last year, the annual day, there were so many themes around sustainability that were there, which we were, which the students has taken up. And across the year, as part of our enrichment hour, as part of the general studies of the social studies and global perspectives in IGCSE, this theme is being touched upon multiple times, and students today, I'm very, very happy to say, are really, really aware of things. I'm very happy that this question came, because that shows that all of you are aware of the dangers that are there with our us not protecting our environment. And I'm very sure that Wittians, as they go out in the world tomorrow, are going to be equipped to be able to save, protect, and do justice to the beautiful environment and nature that God has given us.
That was very impactful, sir. Now let's shift our focus from campuses to careers. Witty and GSF have a strong focus on leadership. How do these programs help students grow from learners to leaders, ready for the world beyond the school?
So one of the most important elements of leadership is first knowing yourself, what you want to be, right, going on your own path, making your own path and not following somebody else's path, right? And that's critical. When you want to be leaders, that is something that has to come from within you. So the beautiful program that Global Schools and Witty has is a program called CCUG, Career Counseling and University Guidance. We have started it last year, but this is the first year that we are doing it in a proper, structured way. But from grade 8 onwards, all the students of Witty, they undergo psychometric assessment so that they are able to, many times children and the parents don't really know what's that they really want to do, what is that they are good at. See, when you have at the happy confluence of something that you are good at and that's something that you really love, that's the place where you are a leader. So the CCOG program, with the help of trained career counselors, we are able to help the children find their true calling, help them nurture that, help them select the right subjects for their grade 9th and 10th and for grade 11th, so that they are going in a direction which allows them exposure. So for example, let's say that we find that a student's exposure or student is more aligned towards analytical aspects, that he or she loves history. So then it tells us that, okay, maybe a career in history, maybe a career in law might be a good option. Then we guide the students to start taking subjects which are aligned that way. And then the career counselors then help the students take those subjects, help them to hone their extracurriculars in that particular way, and then finally give them the right exposure in selecting universities from India and abroad which are aligned to their interests, so they get the best education in best college placements and they become the leaders in their spheres, whichever that they want to go in.
That's amazing, sir. Before we move to the fun part, sir, what one piece of advice would you like to give to all Witty students listening right now?
So I strongly believe, and I have seen this in every Wittian is a leader, right? So my strong advice to all the Witty students is follow your own path. Don't, the world will tell you 100 things. Find what you really want to do, what you believe is your calling, what you really like. Pursue your education, pursue a career in that, because when you are really in love with something, you will not feel that you are working a day in your life. And that's what is going, that passion is what is going. Today, the world, it's a world which rewards passion. If you are passionate about anything, you really, really excel in that, anything in the world will be beneficial. But if you're not passionate, if you're not able to give your 100% to that career, you will not do well. So find your career passion, find the passion that find the area that you really want to pursue and go for it. Find yourself. That's my advice.
All right, sir. Now it's time for our rapid fire round.
Okay.
You'll have to answer in just a few words. Quick and spontaneous. Ready?
Yes.
Here we go. One word that defines great leadership.
Empathy.
The most impactful educational innovation you have witnessed recently.
I would say entrepreneurship development.
A book that deeply influenced your leadership journey.
There's a book by Dr. Ken Robinson called The Creative School. I think all educators should read that.
Okay. So, what is the quality you value most in the students?
Curiosity. Unless you are curious, the learning won't stick.
One word to describe Witty International School.
Learning with fun.
Okay. So, what is your 3-word message to Witty students everywhere?
I would say find your true calling. I think that's one word more than 3, but I'll take one word extra.
Of course. That was such an enriching conversation full of insight, inspiration, and ideas.
That's true. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and sharing your incredible perspective on how education is truly transforming lives.
And to all our listeners on this National Journalism Day, let's remember the power of words, truth, and expression because each voice matters and every story can inspire a change. This is Witty Waves, Voices of the Future.
Celebrating learning, leadership, and light of truth.
Thank you for tuning in.
And happy National Journalism Day!